Greetings, everyone. We are back again, the Happiness Taxi.
Vroom vroom.
And today we are going to talk about identifying your stresses, mostly internal and external stresses. And guys, you need to identify that because you can only identify or solve the problem once you identify the root cause of the problem. If you don't know what's the problem, you can never solve it. And you can go about, I take pills, I do drugs, and problem is solved. But those are, distractions, addictions. They're not the solutions of the problem. To understand the problem, you have to understand yourself. Test your fears, go against them, and then try. What do you have to do for that?
You're right, Abhinav. But before we tell our audience that to identify their internal and external stressors, let us identify our internal and external stressors. So, Danny,
Whoa.
This is going
please
to be
begin.
interesting.
I did not expect to be confronted while I was doing this. One of the things I have to mention again, I said vroom vroom. I don't think any taxi has a V8 engine in it that goes vroom vroom. But anyway, so internal and external factors. Okay, all right. So I feel like okay. Let me just deconstruct what internal is, what external is, and how that combines to me. So why does it happen internal? Let me see. Internal ka to you can feel like I feel like internally you yourself think of things, you impose it on yourself, and at the end of the day, you just turn to believe that yeah, I am the cause of this, and that is why this is happening to me. Sometimes it is important to understand that you have to forgive yourself. That's one of the main things. That's a huge quality that one person can have is forgiving themselves. So that is one step towards how you can reduce stress. But definitely your stress won't be completely eliminated when you forgive yourself. That's one of the things. What could I say is one of my internal stressors is I guess I try to do the things I do. I try to be a perfectionist probably.
Oh, you are a perfectionist.
I am.
Well, you thrive to be.
I thrive to be a perfectionist. And sometimes when that something that I'm really invested in does not turn out to be perfect, I might be stressed there. And while I am doing it, also I might be stressed. Maybe I'm in the middle of doing it, and I realize no, I'm not doing it, and through my according to my full potential, and then I might be stressed then, and that stress may lead to me actually having not done it with my entire potential. That stress might have caused me to not have done it with my entire potential, but I could have been able to do it if I hadn't had that stress. There might be things like stress, self-doubt, negative thinking, and external factors. Everybody has. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to answer what external factors is. Tell me, Shivanshi, what is your external stressors?
So, I'll give you an example of what external, stressors could be for someone. Like I have this example. I went to attend an event a few days back, and I was wearing a sari, and somebody was eating a gulab jamun, and they by mistake, spilled it on my sari. So a bit of it was visible. So the whole day I was, conscious of the fact that somebody has spilled a gulab jamun on my sari, and now I'm not looking
An
perfect.
entire gulab jamun?
Yeah, like the whole
The whole bowl.
Yeah.
It's on your sari.
Yes.
It's stuck on your
sad
sari.
for the gulab
Yes.
jamun, to be honest,
Oh,
guys.
no, I feel sad for my sari because like I got ready for it, and it's a
Oh,
big
yeah,
event
fair.
and stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
So for me, the external stress was that event because I was supposed to perform there, and my internal stress was that I was overanalyzing because that gulab jamun, spilled the whole
On your sari, and your entire look is ruined now.
Yeah, so I was like so self-conscious that day that I cannot believe a more stressful situation for me.
Yeah,
Than
definitely
that.
you might have been stressed about the event that you have to do, and the
Yes.
people depending on you to do that event really
Yes,
well
yes,
as well.
yes.
So that it makes you stressed as well. So that
Yes.
is like small things that makes you
And
stressed.
the humanly emotions, the one thing about that, it comes from inside. First, you would feel a kind of anger or like, consciousness that why this happened to me. I was in such a good mood and perfectly looking, and what the hell this thing happened to me. And then also, as my friend mentioned here, that, people are relying on you. How do I look? How do I, propose myself in front of the public? All that stuff also matters at that point. So, and also continuing with the part where my friend said about internal stress management, he's a perfectionist, great one. Not saying many people try to be. And me, on the other hand, my internal stress is like I overthink a lot, to be honest, guys. Yeah. And the problem is, calculating everything before it happens. And, let's say that it comes from the fear that you may not be enough, or you will fail someone or fail something. And ultimately that also leads up to perfection. So we all are striving for the same thing. One fear, one thought may cause another, and it is a chain of event that goes on. So you have to understand at the core of your problem that where the problem lies.
That's right, Abhinav. I think a lot of our stresses are because we are channelizing our energy into thinking and overthinking, especially of something of ourselves which is not even true. Like, let's talk about perfectionist. We were telling Danny that he's a perfectionist because he is in our eyes. Okay, but in his mind, he has created some kind of goals that he's supposed to achieve, and failing to achieve a single goal will lead for him to, failing.
Yes,
Yeah.
entire
So
thing.
I think it's a fear of failure.
Yeah, fear of
So I
failure.
think a lot of our stress is there due to the fact that we are channelizing something which is unattainable. So the fact that I think one day when we all will start accepting our imperfections, our flaws, like that day when the gulab jamun got spilled in my sari, maybe if I would have accepted the fact that I'm supposed to perform, I'm a human, it happened, it was like not my mistake, maybe my day would have gone more smoothly.
And
So,
guys, as I was saying, I know many of you would have watched Star Wars, and in that Yoda says, "Fear, anger, and suffering. It is the path to the dark side. Do not go to the dark side. Do not turn Sith, my guys. Be free." And also, I read it somewhere. We suffer more in our imagination than in reality. So, do not suffer in your imagination. See what's real and move on.
I am your father. That's what the guy who was dressed in black said.
Yeah.
I just had to get that out. I don't.
Ah.
So now moving away from me being a perfectionist and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, now another thing is that being self-aware. Stress is everywhere, obviously, and being self-aware of why that stress is affecting you, or you are being stressed, is really important. So you could say for me, I have to be self-aware. So I feel like I am a bit self-aware, that I am being able to confess what really happens to me when I am in situations. So I feel like I am self-aware enough to get that out. So I understand a bit. So for people who may not be self-aware, or who are trying to be self-aware, what are a few things that you can say, guys?
I think it is right the self-aware being aware about your own stressors or your triggers. It's very important to solve the problems. People say if you really want to solve a problem, you need to identify the problem. So, what exactly is your stresses? The fact that my co-host Abhinav and Danny talked about their own internal and external stressors, like being a perfectionist or overthinking, for that matter. It's the fact that they're aware about their stressors, the negative stressors, not the positive one. Like I was telling you that if you're a bit stressed about your exam, then it could serve as a motivator for you to perform well in your exam. But let's say you're overanalyzing a situation which has not happened, like Abhinav was doing. That can lead to some more negative thinking, and that could lead to other things, one another, and you failing to manage your stress. So Abhinav, what do you think?
Yeah, I think what my host Shivanshi said here is completely right. You need to identify things in order to solve them. And most importantly, you need to understand what you have to hold on and what you have to let go. Because the thing is that there are many potential, threats or stresses in your life. And if you cling on to everyone, giving attention to everyone, some of which are very much irrelevant also, you'll be stressing about the whole day and pretty much the whole life. You have to see which stress is useful to you, which increases the productivity in you, which pushes you to your limits, and which is killing your time and which is destroying you. You need to understand and bifurcate these things, and then you need to proceed forward.
That's right. Okay, so now that we're already on that matter, let's also talk about how in the matter of external stressors, that how social media recently is being a main stressors for teenagers. So Danny,
Definitely. So social media is what they call a necessary evil, you call it. Matlab,
Yeah, indeed true.
it is a necessary evil. In the sense that, okay, so one of the new things I feel like I have a personal opinion on, now AI is coming into the
Yeah.
picture, and is ChatGPT. I use that thing a lot. Definitely, everybody here uses that thing a
Yeah,
lot.
we
but
all do.
But the one of the main things I feel like, ki it destroys your creative potential, and I'm actually scared of it. The thing is, stress and creative potential might not be related, but I'm going to talk about it. The
Yeah.
thing is, why I'm talking about this is because social media is taking out important elements inside of you that you have to develop by yourself and nurture by yourself, and for you to be a talented individual or passionate individual about things. And how AI comes into that picture is that it definitely takes that part away from you where you want to thrive for potential, and this exact thing is going to affect in your life and cause you stress, because when you realize, before people in my age, we just got introduced to AI in like the past 2 years. So before that, I personally would say I still do write diaries, and during the time that I used to write diaries or write just write things I would write, and for be it academic or personal, there was a particular amount of creativity that you used to put into the things that you write personally. Now that AI has come, you just don't engage that potential or creative potential or part of your brain anymore, and that is going to cause you to not exercise that part of your brain, so your creativity is not going to flow. And me personally, I feel like that is going to cause me stress. That is one of the things that I feel like is going to cause me stress, where that is coming from social media, on how it is destroying people's creative potentials. But yes, this is a really small constraint that I'm talking about. This is really nuanced way of understanding stress and social media. We will further talk about how social media affects stress in future episodes. So to further talk about things, Abhinav?
Yeah, I completely agree with my friend here. It kills your innovative part. And it's like you're being in the part of the Matrix. And if you guys have seen the web series Dark, there it says glitch in the Matrix. Be that glitch in the Matrix. Be the different guy. Don't just go with the basic AI and all that stuff. And stress, it just, this AI and this, all this technology today, it's like it's captivating your life in a complete comprehensive manner. For me, honest, believe me, guys, everyone will relate here. The relatability of Instagram and the 3 a.m. personal feeds. Believe me, don't open Instagram at 3 a.m. It completely destroys your life. So, and it's like, people and the kind of, depressive reels or the stuff that is going on in this social media. And not just that, cyberbullying, racial comments, and, the dark jokes. Sometimes for fun, it's okay. But, I've seen people commenting very dark jokes, making fun of dead people. Recently, a child died with a cake, it was poisoned, but the people, they were making fun of that child's death. See to where our society is going on. That's the point.
Yeah, I think the root cause of why social media is giving people anxiety, stress, you name it, all the fancy words. It's because that people are posing themselves that, on social media platforms like Instagram and other feeds, that they are not in reality, and that causes other person to get stressed. Like, okay, I'll tell you. There's one of my friend. She was into modeling and stuff. So after a few years of modeling, she started modeling very young. So recently, she was taking some kind of therapy from a psychologist. I met her a while ago. I cannot share all her details,
Yes,
obviously.
definitely.
So she told me that, how being on social media, how being a model, there are some certain standards. Like, okay, you're supposed to have only 24 as your waist size, and this kind of cause them stress. Even if, like, she'll eat a cake today and then she'll be stressed, oh my god, I've ate a
Yeah.
cake today, tomorrow I have an appointment with the tailor, hair designer, what will they say, what will now happen to me? And this caused her so much stress that it led to her taking therapy at the age of 70. So yes, social media is one of the root cause of stresses, and it is very big threat as young children are being on social media. They are seeing things that they should not see, and they're setting standards that they should not set. You talk about body, mind, intellect, anything.
And yeah, it's like people are putting up a facade, a perfect facade. You see the beauty of the facade and you think, oh my god, their life is so perfect.
Yeah.
Believe me, they are dead inside.
Thirst traps is
Yeah,
what you call
thirst
them.
traps is what you call them, obviously. So you need to understand these things, that what's really going on in someone's life. Until and unless you meet that person in reality, you can't judge a person by their social media appearance. Everything is fancy on the outside, but things get ugly on the inside.
Definitely.
True.
So now that we are coming to the end of our podcast session, this episode definitely. We'll have more. Don't worry about it. We definitely have more coming. So we will talk about more in the future. Now, me, Danny Antonio Martin, Shivan Shiraturi, and Avinav Undrag, we are signing off. Okay. Bye.
Signing
Bye.
off for the day.
The taxi
happiness
goes vroom vroom vroom. Bye.
Bye.
PB.